Hi, my name is Sam Biddle and this is another free lesson for you from Be Creative. One thing I get asked a lot is to teach people how to do good swirls. Well, this month's free workshop in my Be Creative classroom is just that, how to swirl with style. First, let's prep the nail. And of course, we have a theme here. Valentine's Day is this month, so why not go all sexy and hit the Moulin Rouge vibe? What you want to do is apply 2 coats of red gel polish. I'm actually using my Cherie from Orly. You want to cure each layer, but what you don't want to do is top coat. What we're going to do after we've cured the second layer is remove the sticky layer from your colour coat. You are going to get some colour transference onto your nail white, but don't worry, there'll still be plenty of colour on the nail for you to work with. So you can use a little bit of cleanser on the white just to get off that sticky layer, but having that nice matte coat here gives us a perfect surface to work with the nail art pen. But before we go on and do that, let's create these perfect swirls. There are 3 simple rules to getting the perfect swirl design. 1. Start with the main swirl. With every swirl design, there is always that focal swirl, the first big swirl. Then you're going to work your lines off this main swirl. Make sure that you follow the contour and the directions of this central swirl and have the smaller accent lines follow alongside them and fan off them in maybe opposite directions. The third rule is to remember the line of sight. Make sure that your eye follows the tracks or the lines so that they take you up and around the nail. What we don't want is jumping and stuttering, and that means there should be no gaps or spaces between each section or each swirl, so everything should just follow in line. So I've done a second example here, and you can see that there was one big central swirl and then the smaller swirls are coming off. I've done it in a different direction, so this could be on a second nail. What we want to do is we want to create muscle memory. We want to practice. So here is how you can. Draw out a few rows of rectangles. I draw maybe 6 or 12, 24 if you've got time. Draw out these rectangles. Imagine these are your nails. And within each rectangle, you need to draw a swirl design. Everyone needs to be different, which is easy done as you just place a central swirl in a different place on the nail. Having those 10 or 12 or even 24 with you when you are doing a client means that you can refer back to them. And when you're stuck, it means that your mind isn't frozen. You can just go back to it and know where you put the first swirl, and then it just flows after that. It's all about having fun. Enjoy the process and develop your own style doing this. Top tip, you can Google swirls, click on the images and download a whole bunch of inspiration. But if you have seen my column in this month's Scratch magazine, then there is a cut out and keep swirl which I created for you. Cut them out, and now all you need to do is trace over it to create that muscle memory. I'm going to use the nail art pen to do this design, and I'd suggest you do the same. So practice with your nail art pen. You're literally creating muscle memory every time you do a swirl. And anytime you've got a free moment away from your nail desk, swirl away. Get a piece of pen, a piece of paper and a pen and doodle. This design is using the nail art pen for 2 reasons. It is quick and it is easy. Doing swirls with a brush is not only time consuming, but it also takes a little bit more effort. You have to just really think about where you're placing each line and where you're placing your brush down on the nail so that you don't get it looking messy. You can see here that I've placed another example that is from the Scratch magazine column. Underneath, I've put it in a different direction. So I'm actually adding swirls to swirls and just elongating and extending my design. After we have done this, after you have created your design and the look that you like, and you've practiced and you feel confident, you're going to go ahead and you're going to do this onto the nail. Now we've already prepped the nail, so you've got your nail art pen charged with paint. If you're having issues with the paint, make sure that your paint is nice and thin. Make sure that you use a little bit of paper so that you get the excess paint off before you go directly onto the nail. And now we're going to just create the same swirls over the nail, literally copying the pattern that I've created already on paper, but we are just going to repeat those swirls. We have that big central swirl, and then we have smaller swirls. We're literally mimicking and copying the swirls, and we're just doing it over and over and over again. So I've sped up this film for you. Take a look at what we're doing and see how this swirl design develops. You can see that we'll have swirl lines within swirl lines, and I'll be right back with you when we come to do the gold. Now we're just going to add some accents of gold. I'm only adding a small amount of gold to the thicker areas of my design, so those larger parts of the swirls that are more black. This will just give a little bit of a highlight, and then I'm adding some fainter lines onto the red. This will make it seem like there's depth to the design and that the gold is further back. So take a look at where I am adding the gold, or even silver if you fancy silver, to your design. Just gives it a richer, fuller look. Remember, doing swirls on paper first really helps visualize and plan a design. Practicing will help you develop your swirl skills, and soon they'll become second nature. You can apply your swirls with a brush or the nail art pen. I hope that you've really enjoyed this look and that you will post your results on our Facebook page. The address is below. So now the design's finished, you're going to top coat it and cure. Next month we'll be doing another free tutorial, so make sure that you check back here on the 1st of March, and don't forget, post your results on the Facebook page, the Be Creative Facebook page, because I want to see what you're doing.